From lashes for days with the viral Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara to lift and color from their brilliant eye brightener, Thrive Causemetics is the go-to for amplifying everyday looks. Plus, every product is 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and made with clean, skin-loving ingredients that work with your skin. Amplify your everyday. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/shine26 for an exclusive offer of 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/shine26.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's meet in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This right here is Car Con Carne. It's a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Alstyne. Car Con Carne is presented by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. It is time to turn your home into a smart home. It's time to embrace the future of smart living, a future where you can walk into your kitchen and suddenly the lights come on, your Spotify playlist comes on, perhaps your favorite You Died song is ready to go when you walk in. Smart homes make life worth living. Find out more. Get a free, hassle-free quote from my pal Dan. My pal Dan's phone number is 630-730-3728. This is his personal phone. This is his cell phone. You call my guy Dan, he will pick it up. His pocket will vibrate and ring, and he will say, hello, I'm glad to talk to you. Let's talk about smart homes. Easy-automation.net for the free quote, or talk directly to my guy Dan. So, I'm here in the parking lot of Byron's. There are two Byron's hot dogs in Chicago. There's one in Irving Park, not far from Wrigley, and there's also one over by the Andersonville area, which is where I am tonight on Lawrence Avenue, to my right. If you're watching or listening, it holds true either way. He is Fred from the band You Died. He is a returning guest on Car Con Carne.
Do I get a jacket for this?
Not for two.
Oh.
Wait, is this two?
It's two. But there should be a pin.
You get like maybe a Dum Dum lollipop.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take anything.
Fair.
You give
I owe
me.
you. So You Died, the band I just mentioned, just released not all that long ago the Machine Learning album, which I'm holding up to the camera. Look at that cover, Fred.
Look at it. That's a beautiful cover.
This is a stunner.
That we had very little to do with, but my goodness,
nailed it.
Did the man who did that? Oof. He put in the work, I'll tell you.
Do you have the original artwork?
We do have the original artwork. That artwork was actually designed in a program called, I'm going to get this wrong, I think it's called Cinema 4D. It's like a 3D, it's the same kind of stuff they use for 3D animated movies and stuff like that.
I love it.
And Eric Johnson is his name. He basically built that from scratch as if he were building like a video game character. So if you go on our Instagram or YouTube or whatever, that image is used in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. It's fully animated. It's presented from different angles and stuff. We had a feeling when he made that people were going to accuse us of just using AI to create that. So we were trying to flex a little bit and have him do a few extra things to show that it wasn't, just, robot head, whatever in a chat GPT.
Right, because in this day and age, you assume that something's been manipulated or
of course
played with. Yes,
it's so easy.
So again, Machine Learning is the new album. It is the soundtrack to your post-apocalyptic cyberpunk dance party.
That's sure.
You Died is doing a record release show at Reggie's on Friday, November 15th. That's where you did your last record release show, isn't it?
I don't really think we had a record release show. In fact, the first show this band ever played, you were at, that was at the
Double Door?
The Double Door kind of pre-opening thing. That was 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago to today. And that record, the first record came out, there was only two people on it. It was me and our former guitar player, Dave Lugo, who recorded the entire thing. And once Ronnie and Gabe joined the band, we had like 2 weeks and we put the band together to play that show. That was our very subdued record release show. We weren't even sure we were going to be a band.
And then you keep showing up at that location. You're going to keep showing up, recording videos, doing whatever until they open their doors.
Yeah, we've been spending a lot of time at that location.
All right, so again, the record release show is at Reggie's. This is happening on the 15th, Friday the 15th, playing with the Gelheads and Sweetie.
Yes. I think those are Car Con Carne alums?
Gelheads not yet.
Okay.
Sweetie, multiple guests.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Birdie got a jacket.
Oh, yeah. So we love those bands. We've I know the Gelheads from way back in the day. Sweetie we played with very early on. One thing I want to say that we are going to announce tomorrow, which is probably going to be a few days ago or whatever when we see it, is that a new band from Tony Duggins and Aaron Duggins from the Tossers called the Banshees is going to be doing an acoustic set before we go on.
How cool is that?
And that'll be their debut performance. We're keeping this thing all kind of friends and family kind of tight, and when you've been doing this as long as we have, you've made a lot of friends and probably a lot of enemies along the way. But to have them come and do this, that's going to be really cool.
Now,
I can't wait.
Tossers, former Car Con Carne guest.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. That was Car Con Blarney.
Right. Sure, St. Patrick's Day.
I asked our mutual friend Zach to turn my logo green for that one.
Okay. Zach's really good at taking logos and doing fun things with them. I had him do a Pride version of the You Died logo either this last June or the June before. I don't remember, but Zach, among other things, is good at working with logos.
He's the best. All right, so I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go, well,
yeah, it's really deep.
I'm saying, let's do this. I'm using your words to get things started here.
Okay, awesome.
Brett Byron's. I got us hot dogs. You were adamant. I got these before you arrived. You were adamant. No tomatoes.
You have no idea how much I planned my day around this.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't eat lunch?
I had a falafel for lunch because I knew I was going to be getting...
Well, dude, you're still going to be hungry after this.
Getting down in the dirt.
There's not a lot going on here. The first hot dog's just a snack. The first hot dog is a tease. It
really depends on what we want to do.
It's like a cheese stick before the dinner. I'm already covered in mustard and I haven't had a bite. How is that even possible?
A fun story. The last time I did this...
Car Con Carne?
Car Con Carne. We went to Gene and Jude's. And
wait. Did we? You're a 3-time guest.
No.
Or we did Gene and Jude's before.
Well, it depends on what... If do I get a honorary appearance from bands that I am in that I wasn't at the interview for?
No. Right, sorry, we're at Gene and Jude's. I forgot about that.
And I had mustard all over my pants the whole interview, but it's Car Con Carne. It doesn't make any difference. And here, if I may ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
I've been in this car before. It was 2 years ago. People have been eating Italian beefs and pizza and hot dogs in here. And this car, if you could pardon my language, this car is fucking pristine.
It's not pristine. You're very nice. It's not pristine.
I'll be right back. I got to go check the back seat.
Yeah. All right, so we got hot dogs. It's just your basic Chicago dog. No tomatoes, though, because that made Fred angry.
Tomatoes? Get that shit off of my food, you slimy, rotten apple. You have no place in anything. Tomatoes are the eagles of vegetables.
The eagles. I just ate an entire sport pepper. We didn't need a minute. My God, I hate the Eagles. I'll never forget, I was working for Cumulus, the radio company. There it is. I knew it. I knew hot pepper is going to make me hiccup.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
And I remember Dan Wolf, who produces the morning show on 94.7. He came back the morning after the Eagles show and said, "Oh my God, that was such a great concert." And he still reminds me to this day that my response was, "Did they play someone else's songs?" Not a fan.
Okay. I have made a vow to myself that I'm not going to say bad things about other artists. And I'm certainly not going to punch down against my peers or anyone who's just starting
You
up.
can punch up on the Eagles.
You could punch up on the Eagles, but I will say this. I'm glad there is a band that makes music for people who don't care much for music.
The passive aggressive.
I mean, they're very talented. They're very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to them. If I ever have to hear New Kid in Town ever again.
The Eagles, the disqualifier for me is they not only wrote two of the worst songs in rock history, they put them on the same album on the long run. The Greeks Don't Want No Freaks.
I don't even know that song.
Keep Away, and Teenage Jail.
I don't know that song
Two
either.
of the worst songs in rock history. They own it.
Okay, so you're saying that there's worse songs than the stuff that I've
After
heard?
you leave me tonight, pop on the long run. And don't get fooled by In the City, which is a great fucking song. Great fucking Joe Walsh song.
I bet it's all right.
I'm covered in relish.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about You Died. Machine Learning is the new album. I'm crying from the hot peppers, but I don't want to touch my eyes because I'm afraid I might have...
No, trust me. The hot sauce, that whole hot sauce game, that's all me, baby. And it's pain and suffering all the time.
Do you have a shocking amount of celery salt on your dog?
I don't really notice. I got to be honest with you, James. When I eat a hot dog, I just want meat and bun, and I do this Chicago style because I feel like I have to.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't really know.
I eat hot dogs.
Half the shit is already on the wrapper.
I eat hot dogs, Italian beef, at light speed because, to me, both those things are a race against the clock. The bun's only going to hold for so long.
Yes. We like wet food in Chicago. Italian beef. Chicago steamed. Hot dog steamed bagels. We like it wet. We like it soggy. It's not a comfortable eating experience. You want to just get it over with.
It's not a car eating experience. How about that?
It's certainly not.
It's okay if you bring it home and put it on a plate.
There's not a crumb in this car. There is a crumb in this car now because of me.
There are fries under my seat, I promise you.
Let's go sit in my car, James.
All right, so Machine Learning, the new album, vaguely post-apocalyptic theme. I like how you mix things up. You went from ghosts and vampires on the last album to post. It's like you went from Rob Zombie to Power Man 5000 thematically.
Wow, thanks for that, James. I must be going.
I love Rob Zombie.
You know what? This is a band
I
full
threw
of
you with the Power Man 5000.
This is a band of very serious musicians and songwriters, and also, I don't want to speak for Ronnie, Gabe, and Peter, but this is a very nerd forward band. I love horror and science fiction and folklore and just all the
Folklore.
dorky crap that guys like me get into, and we really did a lot of the more like you said, horror side of things on the first record. And I think because of some looming decisions that are about to be made in the world, and also just our love for sci-fi and post-apocalyptic stuff, that definitely is the overarching feel of the record.
Yeah.
But it is not a concept record by any means.
No, this isn't Rush.
No, it's definitely not Rush. I mean, and unless you think all of these songs are just kind of like nods to nerd culture, they're personal songs, and they're sort of. I personally feel it's kind of a jolly, upbeat record, despite what some of the themes might be. But I do like to put a overarching feel over everything, and robots and sci-fi and the post-apocalyptic dystopia. That's all so much fun.
Permanent Upgrade on the album has proggy flourishes, perhaps?
It sure does. Yes, that song, and that was a very difficult decision where to put that on the record. That's a song about a friend of mine who passed away in the last year, who actually was in this band, Mary Tyler Morphine.
I remember Mary Tyler Morphine.
And she was a wonderful person. She was a very stubborn, determined, ball buster of a human being, and I wanted to do a song that was a little bit more mechanical and didn't show off the band so much. It's sort of a tribute to her. Everybody in this band is really, really talented, and I wanted to make sure that no one was, hot dogging it too much on that song. And I think we pulled off something really a great tribute to a friend. So,
and I didn't know that, and I think it's one of the best songs on the album.
Oh, thank you so much. That was a tough song to write, and I'm glad you. Tough song emotionally to write, so I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad people generally feel that way.
So this time around, the entire band was in the studio, different from last time. Did you have to give up a little? Was that hard for you to do?
No, in fact, it was it was a relief to have. Ronnie DeCola and Gabe and Peter are incredible musicians and very creative. So we basically started out all the songs with me giving them a really rough demo of, the structure and the chord progression, what it was going to sound like. And they basically had the freedom to do whatever they wanted with this. And they're all very talented, like technically talented musicians, but very, very creative too. The only challenge with this record was that everybody plays in 50 other bands.
The coordinating schedules and
it was weird for me because I'm not a very organized person, but I really wanted to do this record, and I knew when I wanted it to come out. If you're a band like us that nobody's really heard of that much, you have to keep yourself on the map. So if we would have waited to put this out until next spring or summer, people would probably just be sick of our shit by then. So I had to pick a release date, build it back, and then build a calendar to schedule everybody in the studio, and that was the biggest challenge. Other than that, creatively, it was a breeze. It was a pleasure to see what these guys brought to the song ideas I came up with to just make them that much better. It was really, really cool. I really like listening to it. We tried to make a record we wanted to listen to.
It sounds big.
Cool. Yeah.
It sounds
Thank
big.
you.
Last time we talked about the last album, I think I mentioned that Twilight Zone by Golden Earring was a courageous song to cover.
Yeah.
Not to rest on that, you covered Cities and Dust by Susie and the Banshees on this album.
Yeah. And we did that because it was a really bad idea to do.
No, it wasn't.
And by that I mean, anytime we look at a cover song to do, I kind of search around and see who's done it of note, and what did they do with it? Did they change it?
And you don't want to do something everyone else has covered.
Well, right, sure. And Susie did that song, and the only notable artist I've seen who's covered it was Garbage, and Shirley Manson is an expert at what she does. So I thought, let's do that. There's no way we're good enough to pull that off. And I think it came out really nice.
It did. The drum intro on that is fucking huge.
My God. And that was totally... We were going to try to do it by the book, but Ronnie came up with that kind of tribal drum intro, and it sounds so cool. And also, when we pick cover songs, we like to pick stuff that kind of speaks to our youth or our like coming up or whatever. Yeah. And that scene, Susie and the Banshees and Sisters of Mercy and The Cure and Depeche Mode, those were sort of universally accepted bands by punk bands and metal bands and everybody else. And I think I don't want to say that's missing from music today, but there's something transcendent about songs like that they're just fun to do. I don't think we necessarily did it justice, but goddamn, did we have a fun time.
I love it. I think it's super fun. Aqua Tofana?
Yes.
You do some fun stuff vocally on this one. You have this kind of like staccato delivery, but you also, in delivering it, you kind of bounce between almost spoken word to falsetto.
Yeah. So that song is it's about a historical event. There's a
nerd.
There was a woman named Giulia Tofana in Italy. How long is this podcast? In like the 1600s, she owned a cosmetic shop, and she built a franchise. There were several of them throughout Italy, and she sold.
You're telling me this like I don't already know it.
Do you don't know?
No,
that
I don't
story?
know.
Oh my goodness, it's a great story. Anyway, I'll make it quick. She basically created a poison that back then women didn't have many rights. If you were in a bad marriage, there wasn't really a way to get out other than going to this cosmetic shop and getting something called acqua tufana, which was a blemish remover, metaphorically and figuratively, and you could administer some.
This is an amazing story.
You could administer some to your husband every day for a month, and after 30 days they would fall ill and they'd be gone. And so that was a very easy song to write because I thought it was such a cool story.
It's an amazing story.
And it's
That's so good. You could have made that up.
I don't like violence, but that seems a little justified, right? I mean,
For sure. All right,
back in the day.
let's get to the hit. Armored Core. Most obvious song on the album. I'm glad you led with it as the lead track. It's super hooky. I mentioned I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go, well,
Yeah.
tell me about the genesis of this.
I like to do. This is kind of corny. I like to do sort of, rile them up, get them going, start those engines kind of songs.
Don't bury the lead. Here we are. Where You Died. This is our new album.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly. Like it seemed appropriate to start the album out with. It's just sort of. It's fun. It's empowering. It kind of gets the blood flowing and it's very simple. I was watching Paul McCartney in an interview, and somebody asked him, what's the key to like having universally loved songs, and he said easy lyrics. And what's easier than oh and I'm ready to go? Like, it doesn't get any easier than that.
So what you're saying is, if you like the Beatles, you're going to love You Died.
If you like if you don't like the Beatles, you're going to love You Died. Because, I don't want to get into a whole nother one of these, but the Beatles, they're all right.
Armored Core, there's a video for this. Now, the video shot at the Double Door Space, which is going to open. But until it does, you're just going to keep doing shit there.
We're just going to, we'll do our
No,
next
once
video
they open,
there.
you're not going to get booked
We'll
for
never
anything.
be allowed back in there again.
Before the public can access it, you're there every goddamn day. But once they're selling tickets, You Died is persona non grata.
Yeah. We'll never play a show at the Double Door.
So there's a video for Armored Core. This looks like the kind of cybersecurity videos I have to watch at work, like for compliance.
It's actually an employee training video.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna butcher. I do it every time. I butcher her last name, Sarah Giroux. Who took
Fred is
over-
not a native French speaker.
No. Oh my goodness. Long story, but yeah, I'm not a native French speaker. Zach Spangler did our last video. He was on board to do the video for this song, and he got caught up with somebody. Was
it me?
No, it wasn't you. It was just the station.
He works
the
for
station
Q101.
Needed him.
Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast,
And
Zach is a Q101 person.
I was getting a feeling that Zach wasn't going to be able to do this, and I started reaching out to Sarah, who did some camera work on our previous video. And right as I was reaching out to Sarah, Zach texted me and he said, "Hey, you should reach out to Sarah, have her do this." And Zach is very good. Sarah did a great job, but I was in awe of how she commanded a crew of about 16 people to do this video.
Yeah, no small feat.
We shot it all in about 4 hours, from setup to tear down to I'm in my car.
That's impressive.
It was unbelievable. There was no extra shooting done. She cut that thing in about 3 days, and it's really,
it looks
really
awesome.
cool.
And the song is so great. Armored Core. Again, the new album, the new You Died album, the full band recorded album, Machine Learning. I want to ask you, speaking of the full band, Boss Fight is toward the end. That's straight up instrumental. Was there ever an intention to put voice on that?
Not really. I wanted to do an instrumental. There's a lot of vocals on this record, and there's a lot of just one right after the other, hard rockin', kind of party songs. And I thought about, am I going to need a break when we play this live? And also, anybody who buys this record or streams this record, are they going to need a break from hearing my voice?
An audio sorbet, if you
minutes? And Boss Fight, that kind of came together. I wanted to do something quick and easy as an interlude. And Peter came in. Peter joined this band right before we went in the studio, the lead guitar player.
A peerless guitar player.
And just created such a fun little melody over those chords. Yeah, watch this coming up. That's why they're not $15, everybody.
Records aren't $15 anywhere anymore.
Oh my God.
That's a different podcast topic.
I bought Hey, James, I bought a record player so I could listen to this thing.
Did you? It's a slippery slope, Fred.
Oh,
Although
my God.
You couldn't have picked a worse time to collect records because, as you pointed out, they've never been more expensive. I keep wondering.
They've never been more cool, though.
They've never been more cool. I keep waiting for the bottom to fall out because the prices are it's too hard to be a collector right now.
I guess, but think of all the other stupid crap people spend money on.
Oh, believe me.
I mean, I still spend money on far more dumb stuff than records.
So when are we going record shopping?
Somebody bought this, and so they could put it on their Instagram, where they basically just post a picture of a cover and the record on the turntable every week or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling through, and there's all this cool stuff, these like bright orange neon vinyls and stuff. I'm thinking, I need all that now.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a slippery slope. I'm all in. We should go to the Chirp Record Fair.
Oh my! I don't even know what that is. Let's go.
It'll happen.
Is it going on right now? Let's go right now.
I think it'll be the Saturday before this goes live. I have it on my calendar. We should go buy records.
James, hit me up. I will go buy all the records. I don't even care what they sound like. I just want to put them out and bite them.
I work from home, and I'm throwing records. I've got a stack. I cycle through as I'm working.
It's so cool, right? Okay, so if I may digress a little bit, there's something about seeing the music.
It's just
you look at that record and there's the music.
The difference is it's experiential. When I listen to, like in my car, I'm going through songs. I'm not listening to the whole thing. When you put a record on, you're listening to the entire side. You're hearing every song. You're not re-queuing a record. You're in it for 20 minutes.
Yes, and
there's something to that.
It created a new challenge for us because we wanted that first side to end with a banger.
Yeah,
and we wanted the second side to open with something cool and end with something cool. Yep. When you just have a streaming record, you could just let that last
it's
half
a la
kind of
carte.
off.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever, no one's listening to that. But if you're going to go through the trouble of flipping over that record and putting that needle back on for a second time, you better have something in there that makes your butt clench.
And for people who always wonder, how can I support local music? And for those people who say that and don't actually want to go to see a local show, here's a great way to do it. Buy some physical merch.
Or just send us some money.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's expensive to be in a band.
It is expensive to be in a band.
It's so stupid. No one should ever do this.
That said, you can go see live music and you can buy the record at Reggie's on Friday the 15th. It is the album release show for Machine Learning, the new one from You Died. It's really good. I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go, whoa, to Reggie's.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go get another hot dog, James.
That's what I'm saying. The first one is just a tease.
That's
not
a
a meal. One hot dog is not a meal.
It's true.
At least not in Chicago. It's not.
James and I are gonna go eat more hot dogs, buy more records, and we're gonna drive around all night. And we might pee in an alley occasionally. Not a big deal. Quit worrying about it.
Fred, You Died. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much for having me. I was telling you earlier, we've done a few of these things in the last month, for podcasts and YouTube channels and stuff. This was the one I was so nervous about.
Nervous?
This is James Van Osdol. I know James Van Osdol, but people I know James Van Osdol.
You can't be nervous about a podcast. You can't be nervous about a podcast host who has relish all over his interview.
I'm even more nervous now. James, we love you. Thank you so much for doing this. I've seen every one of these 1,003 episodes.
This is 1,003 right here.
I'll watch this one too, I guess.
Why not? Thanks, Fred.
Thank you, James. Thanks.